My name is Jeffrey Woodson. I am a drummer, filmmaker, and I've been married to my wife now for about 11 years in a couple weeks, and we have a son named Zane that we adopted from Ethiopia. Outside of that, I'd say creative outlets have been like my life, and specifically it started with music and drumming. And growing up, I would used to go behind my dad at when he was a part of different worship teams, and just watch the drummer and watch like musicians and be so enthralled by that. And it really like stirred a passion for worship and for music, and it's given me an opportunity to really know who God is in a real and tangible way. And one of the things that I absolutely love about it is being able to see people encounter God in a way that really transforms them from the inside out. Because there's something about worship that speaks to hearts more than sometimes even what you hear from the stage, from the pulpit. And that's been one of my biggest passions, and one of the things God's been taking me on a journey in this year is being able to focus my life on like priorities. And big thing is just like I used to be like spreading myself way too thin with creative outlets, but now narrowing it down to two things. And for me, it's been music and filmmaking. And filmmaking, that really started from one of my favorite shows growing up was Movie Magic, and being able to see like all of how certain things were made and how they did animatronics on things. And that kind of started like once I got into college, getting into DSLR filmmaking, and with DSLRs like actually starting to learn photography. And I feel like it was in my blood because my dad was a photographer in college, and he shot for Don King and did like fights and celebrity events. And so every time getting to go home and seeing like all his slides and negatives and stuff like that is just like a constant inspiration for me. It's given me an opportunity to tell story, visually tell things in a way that empowers people. I think whenever me and my wife moved from Illinois to Missouri, and when I took this job, all the things that are in Ferguson started to happen, and it really rocked me in a way, because it was like culture shock going from one way to the other, like moving away from family and friends to a new area, and then all this is happening, and now having a family that's just an awesome, amazing melting pot of cultures. My wife is Caucasian and I'm African American, and our son is Ethiopian. And growing up in a predominantly black family, like it's given me a sense of pride in who that I am, and now like being able to instill that in my son has been incredibly important for me. Now that I look at things like film and stuff like that, I see it through a different lens, because I see how important representation is. Because growing up, being the only in a lot of spaces has made me feel an extended sense of responsibility now, telling stories that represent people and people groups in a positive light. And so I hope that with what I can create, my son can be empowered to see like doctors and politicians and businessmen like that look like him, that can influence in a big way. And